Hey, this is your boy Dana Dow, the Double Dipper. You're on Tijuana to Vegas podcast. I have a very extra special guest. This might be short and sweet, but her time is valuable, ladies and gentlemen. I have my sister, as promised, Brenda Macias, here on the podcast finally, and she's gonna share a little bit about breast cancer because I'm running the page with her, and she's sharing about Susan G. Komen. So, Brenda, if you could just introduce yourself a little bit and what you do here in San Antonio.
Hey everybody, my name is Brenda Macias and I'm Dana's sister. I'm 48 years old. I'm a stage 4 breast cancer survivor, thriver, like I like to call myself.
Yeah.
And I live in San Antonio currently. I'm a journalist. I've been a journalist for the past 23 years. I've worked in Spanish language television stations. And today I want to wish you a happy new year. I want this year to be amazing, but not only amazing, but also a year where you can find yourself and love yourself. That's been the journey that I've been through this past year since being diagnosed with cancer. Just learning to love myself, learning to accept myself, learning to look in the mirror and forgive myself more than anything, because I think sometimes we hold on to things that linger in our hearts and can harm us and harm others that we love. So I think this year what I want to focus on is being more grateful and also restoring my mind, my heart, my soul, my body, because it's been through so much. And those of you that have gone through cancer or any illness
Amen.
knows that it takes a toll on everything, on your mental health, on your physical health, and also your heart, because you start hurting. And this is a good year to start with our right foot, como decimos en español, con el pie derecho.
Con el pie derecho. Let's start healing, right?
And really start healing and really start forgiving each other first. And then forgiving those that might have hurt us throughout the years. And then restoring and repairing those relationships that need to be repaired, because it's never too late to say you're sorry. It's never too late to go back to that person that once hurt you or that you hurt and say, you know what, I'm sorry I hurt you. Can we start over again? We're always allowed to start over. And I think that's the message that I learned in 2024, that I was allowed to start over. I was allowed to start over with a new life. I was allowed to start over with how I want to live, how I want to see things, how I want to think, and how I want to feel. So I wish you the best, and I hope 2025 brings you restoration, peace, love, and health more than anything. God bless you.
I have a couple questions in regards to stage 4 metastatic breast cancer. It's just like, okay, for my listeners that know, I am advocate for mental health awareness, and I smoke cannabis, and there's certain cannabis laws, like the federal law and the state law, of how something can be illegal and legal at the same time. Now, this is my metaphor towards stage 4 breast cancer, because my sister is diagnosed as being in stage 4 breast cancer. However, there is no trace of cancer in her body. So that's the metaphor. I don't know if that's correct to you, Brenda, a way to explain it to people, kind of like how the laws work. Like, my body is saying federally that I do have it and it does exist, but the state inside of your body, the state of your actual being, there is no cancer evidence. So how do the doctors explain that to you as a patient, and what does it feel like when you first get that very first diagnosis of when they tell you, hey, you have stage 4 breast cancer? What is that? Bring me back to that moment.
So that's interesting, that comparison you made. It's a really good comparison. And I know it doesn't make sense, right? It's like you look for a loophole so it could be legal, but it's really illegal. And I understand how you compared it with my situation with stage 4 cancer. So I was first diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer in 2022. August of 2022, a date, of course, I will never forget. It was actually August 22 of 2022. So it's easy to remember, and it's just one of those dates that you have tattooed in your heart and in your mind forever.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
after that, I went through the whole roller coaster and train ride where the doctors, recommend chemo and radiation and surgery and medication, all these things you go through, MRI, CT scans, and all that. So anyway, I went through chemo, I went through the surgeries, and right after I was done getting my mastectomy to my left breast, that's where I had the cancer. I had
Hazard reported ahead
I
on
had
State
a-
Highway 16.
a tumor.
Loop west in half a mile. You're still on the fastest.
We're driving.
It's
There's
okay,
a
guys.
GPS talking to us.
Literally, just for the people that are tuning in to Tijuana to Vegas episode X, which is episode 1, first one of the year, episode 10. Our guest today is my sister, Brenda Macias of Univision Television here in San Antonio. And we're currently talking about what it is to have stage 4 breast cancer but not have it in your body, correct?
Yeah, I know. It's kind of interesting. So, 2022, I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer. Went through the chemo, got the mastectomy to my left breast, got it removed. And then, right after, a month later, I got a full hysterectomy, got my ovaries removed. And right after that, my doctor called me in a week later. I was still recovering from the hysterectomy. And, of course, still recovering from the mastectomy. And he said to me, Brenda, we found cancer in your ovaries, which means you are now stage 4. And I learned that when you have cancer in one organ, in my case it was the breast, and it travels to another organ, that's what's called metastatic
Breast cancer.
breast cancer. Did I say that right? Because in Spanish,
Metastatic is the way.
metastases, which is known in
In
Spanish.
English, it's metastatic is the word, correct?
Metastatic. I usually say it in Spanish.
Meta, just think meta.
Metastases, which means it spreads to another organ from the original organ. So in this case,
you can think of it as beta
Yeah,
and meta.
exactly.
How it spreads from being from one stage to the next stage
exactly.
in growth, as
Yes.
nerds would know, beta, meta, all that.
Exactly. So that's what put me in stage 4.
Stage 4.
And right after that, that was, I think, harder to swallow than when I was first diagnosed with stage 3. Because when you hear somebody having stage 4, you automatically think it's terminal. You're
yeah.
going to die at any moment.
That's what it comes to my mind.
And then my doctor, my first question was, how long do I have to live? And she said to me, well, I'm going to give you a pill, and I hope you can make it to 2 years. So she literally gave me 2 years to live.
Hope.
And that was in 2023 when she told me. So it's been a year and about 8 months since she gave me that prognosis, saying that I would die in about 2 years. I'm still here. It's 2025. I'm here, alive, stronger than ever.
Okay, so let's do the math real quick. So on August 2022, and now we're in January of 2025. So that's how much is that? My brain's
So all of
kinda
2023, so August of 2022 to August of 2023 is a year. And then
24.
to August 2024 is 2 years. And now we are in January.
So that's 2 years and 4 months.
Exactly.
So
2 years and 4 months since I was diagnosed. But it's been a year and a half since my doctor told me I was stage 4. Because remember, 2023, that's when I went through my surgeries.
Okay.
And I didn't find out I was stage 4 until...
So that's 18 months, what she said.
Yeah, about approximately.
Yeah, and she approximates 18 months. And even now, 18 months later, Brenda recently went to go do a complete scan because there's 2 different ways.
I have to do it every 6 months.
Every 6 months. But if she notices something, she's very on top of her health, and if there's any changes in her body, or how do you explain that? So, because I know that you've done certain, like scheduling certain things that weren't every 6 months because you might have felt something. What can you recommend to women to do? First of all, maybe like some simple tips. In case they are scared, they might feel something different in their body. What would the symptoms be? What's a simple checkup? what is that lemon thing that I hear
Okay.
about?
So there's 12 symptoms of breast cancer, and I know that seems so unreal, but it's true. It's 12 symptoms of breast cancer, meaning 12 signs that can lead you to know if you have breast cancer or not. And one thing you do need to know is that breast cancer is usually not painful. So if you feel pain in your breast, it's usually not breast cancer. It's something else, but it's not breast cancer. Breast cancer is not painful most of the time. In my case, I had like 4 different symptoms, like the inverted nipple, I had the dimpling around my breast, I had the size of my breast changed, but I had a tumor the size of an orange. So by the time I detected it because my breast started going through
Repeat
serious
that.
changes.
You said you had a tumor the size of an orange.
Yeah, 10.5 centimeters.
10.5 centimeters, ladies and gentlemen. That is like the size of a tennis ball.
Yep.
Basically.
Orange, tennis ball.
Standard orange.
Yep.
Just so you can get an idea in case you don't know what 10.5 centimeters, and there's so many
And that was in my
orange.
left breast. So my advice is always to listen to your body. Touch your body, ladies. You need, and men too. Men are also diagnosed with breast cancer, which is scary. But you need to feel your breasts when you're in the shower, when you're naked, when you're taking a shower, when you're alone. Look at yourself in the mirror. Notice changes. The first sign of a change, of anything that just seems off, you know your bodies. We know when something is wrong. Our body talks to us. Our body is so perfect and so wise. When something is wrong, we know it, we feel it, we sometimes can see it and sometimes touch it, and that's what you need to do. You need to, every time you get in the shower. And the best time to do a breast exam, a self-breast exam, is, I believe, like 3 or 5 days after your period. And if you have already gone through menopause and you don't have periods anymore, like myself, then you choose the same day every month. So let's say every 15th of the month. Every 15th of the month, check your breasts. And the moment you feel something different, you need to talk to your doctor. You just have to. It's better to know. I know it's the most horrible news you could ever get. For me, breast cancer, the toughest part was hearing that I had breast cancer. And I know those that have been diagnosed feel the same way. It's the toughest moment when they tell you have breast cancer because you don't know what's going to happen with your life. But once you start confronting it and going through chemo and surgeries and everything you have to go through, you become this warrior and you start fighting for your life. Literally, you start fighting for your life. And that's when you become this survivor. And then you become a thriver where you're like, you know what? I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to live my fullest no matter what happens. It doesn't matter how long I live. It matters how I'm going to live during the time that I have to live. And I think that's my biggest message. Right?
That's what you introduce yourself as, right? A survivor,
thriver. Yes.
Survivor, thriver. I like that a lot.
Because thriving means living vigorously. So when you live every day, it's the living, the day-to-day, the getting up, going to work, going to school, doing your daily things. But when you live thriving, you're living vigorously, which means you are giving it your all. You are enjoying every moment that you're breathing, that you're seeing, that you're walking, and you don't take it for granted. So that's
I was
the
going to
thriving.
say, I think that has a lot to do with being in a state of gratitude.
Yes.
Because a lot of people
That's my
who
word
haven't
for
been
2025,
sick,
gratitude.
Gratitude is a good word for 2025. And that's for the female. For a male point of view, my father died of stage 4 cancer. He had several types of cancer, first without me knowing. And as a male, we were recommended at the age of 40 to get a colonoscopy. I'm 41. I'm not going to lie, I haven't done it yet. My resolution for this year is to get it done. I know that I'm going to be fine. I did have a scare about, I want to say like 10 years ago. He died in 2011.
January 2011.
January 27th of 2011. So that's about 13 years ago. So about the first 7 years of that, I got in a very dark mental place. I started doing a lot of drugs, using alcohol, staying up late, abusing my body. And a lot of it was because I thought I had testicular cancer. Like I had explained in my podcast number 2, Bodycast, where I walked you through the whole experience that I had as a child of being in the body cast and all that. So what happened is that I ended up having a friend that was a really good friend of mine then, and shout outs to him. I won't mention because we're no longer on speaking terms, but the universe is grand. I hope that him and his wife and his child are doing well. Shout outs to the family. And moving on, that person at the time did a very great thing for me, and he pushed me and he made me stronger, and he brought me to a hospital because I had insurance and everything, and he brought me to the hospital and said, I'm going to go with you. And he's like, I'll even get an exam. And he didn't even think he had cancer, but he's like, I'll even do it. I was like, no, that's cool, dude. If you just come with me and you're willing to be there with me, that little bit of support is what I needed. And brothers and sisters, let me tell you, I went, I did the exam. They checked out my testicle area, and the result was that I have no sign of cancer or anything in my testicle region. And what it was is scar tissue that had accumulated over years from when I had my operation and I was in the body cast, because I had to make an incision in between my testicles and my thigh, and also on the top of my hip in order to operate properly. So once I learned that, like literally a 1,000-ton boulder that was on top of my chest, suffocating me, not letting me breathe, literally just rolled off of me. And I just felt so much anxiety leave, because knowing what you have, like my sister said, it sucks to know, but if you know what you have, you know what you're going up against. You know what I mean? And we're warriors. We're at an age where technology and holistics and just knowledge in general, we have the ability to heal anything. And Brenda and I were talking about the liver, and about how if we can take care of our livers.
Yes, if we can keep our liver and our gut healthy, we can have a healthy and long life. So every illness begins with inflammation in your body. What causes inflammation? Well, let's make it simple. Pizza, beer, wine, bread, all those yummy things that we love, pasta, all those things that we absolutely love, McDonald's,
the goodies,
Subway, all those places that we eat at, causes inflammation. What lowers inflammation? Well, you're not going to like the sound of this, but vegetables. Broccoli is the #1 cancer-fighting food. Anything that's green. Just, we all know.
Hey guys, did
what
you hear
healthy foods
that?
are.
Anything that's green. Why do you think I'm so healthy?
Well, I mean, if it's helping you.
It's true. No, I'll talk about that in another podcast about Rick Simpson and Phoenix Tears. But Brenda, go ahead about the liver, because it's important, because I have a lot of friends that drink.
So we need to detox the liver constantly. And one of the best ways and easy ways to do it and keep your gut healthy as well is very simple. Every day, with a warm cup of water, add a lemon to it and drink it before you eat anything, before you drink anything, before you have your coffee.
So right when I wake up,
as soon as you wake
I
up,
go to the bathroom.
Exactly.
I go to the kitchen. I get a coffee cup.
Yeah. Just warm it
water,
up.
Warm it up for 30 seconds.
And then add some lemon to it.
And add
Squeeze
lemon
a
or
lemon.
lime?
It could be a lime, a lemon, it doesn't matter.
Citrus.
Squeeze it in there and
Okay.
drink it. And that creates this like protective barrier around your gut, and it helps you. So that kind of it makes you digest your food better during the day. It lowers your glucose level, which is your sugar level. So remember, even if we don't have diabetes, thank God I don't have diabetes, but we're all at risk of having diabetes because everything we eat has sugar and turns into sugar. So another thing you need to do, so number 1, warm water with lemon every day. Number 2, lift weights. This has been life-changing for me. I started lifting weights after my mastectomy, slowly, with 2 pounds. And now I lift up to 10 pounds. I do it slowly. I'm not trying to get bulky. Women, you don't have to worry about that. For you to get bulky, it takes a lot. So don't worry. This is to strengthen your muscle. So every time you build muscle, get this. When you sleep at night, your sugar levels drop because your muscle starts eating the sugar in your body. It's that simple. You gain muscle by lifting weights, by contracting your muscles. Well, guess what happens? Your sugar level goes down. So less diabetes, stronger gut, less falls when you get older. You become stronger. And, those are a lot of benefits. Remember, we're going to be 80 or 90 one day, and we're not going to be able to even get up from the toilet.
I wanted to just touch on that subject for future podcasts. Just to wrap this up, I wanted to thank Brenda Macias of Univision Television. She's really a prestigious person, not just because she's my sister, but she's like an Emmy award-winning badass soccer mom from from heaven.
We don't have to talk about that.
Well, no, you're my sister. It's okay. This is my podcast. My friends are on here talking about all kinds of things. So, thank you for being on the podcast, Brenda, and giving us informative information. I will talk to you guys later. This is your boy Dana Dow, Red Ivy, the Double Dipper on episode X of Tijuana to Vegas. I guess I'll just call it a ride with my sister. I don't know yet. But it will be posted up today or soon. So go ahead and make sure you hit subscribe, like, put comments in there. Let me know what you don't like, what you do like. I will also post a link to my sister's videos. I'm going to start putting them up on the YouTube with captions. So you guys can check out our wellness page at SageForLife_digital wellness. And I will go ahead and put Brenda's handles on there too. And continue to enjoy your day, guys. Today is first day of the year, so why not make it the best day of the year? And every day from here out, the same to you. Merry, happy birthday, Christmas, happy New Year's Eve. Peace.